Alright, so this is part 2 of what it's like to be trans, specifically a trans guy. Basically, like I said in the first video, there's a lot of things that are different. Another thing that's really different is even just like going into a store and trying on clothes, because a lot of times they will, if it's a place that has male and female dressing rooms, they will a lot of times put me in a female dressing room, and it's really awkward because, you know, I don't identify as a female at all. So it's very rare if I get to be put in a male's dressing room. And whenever I do, it's like, it's a shock, and I feel like I'm showing it like all over my face, and I'm afraid that they're going to figure out that, hey, maybe I shouldn't put this person into a guy's dressing room. But yeah, so even like going out and doing that is really awkward. Usually, honestly, I tend to stick to places that have neutral stalls, the ones that don't really have girls or boys. They just have a bunch of stalls and they go into whichever one, just because it's a lot more comfortable, and I feel more like I can actually do what I want versus be demasculinized. Yeah, whatever. Demasculinized. There we go. But yeah, so even just going out and trying on clothes is different, and also like I get a lot of looks, and generally it's from older people. I don't usually get looks from people at the stores I go to, just because I've gone there a lot, so they know that I don't go in the girls section, and they know that I try on guys' clothes. And actually there was an incident one time where I was shopping at one of my favorite stores, and two of the associates that were working, they completely ignored me whenever I was waiting in line for a dressing room. They kept helping everybody else, but they wouldn't put me in a dressing room. And it's a store that I happen to go to a lot, and so I actually talked to the manager about it, and the manager knows me, and he took care of it, and they weren't there for very much longer. I feel bad, but you know, they shouldn't be like that to anybody. But in all honesty, I wasn't trying to get them fired. I was just wanting the manager to be aware of it, and if they would have, you know, just treated me like a regular human being from then on, then I would have been perfectly fine. I mean, he didn't have to fire him. I would have been fine if he didn't. But anyways, so yeah, like, just little stuff like that, or going out to dinner and being called her, or what can I get you, ma'am, or something like that. I mean, it's just awkward because, like I said, I don't identify as a female at all, so it's weird. And I don't know, like, it didn't used to bother me, but the more I'm starting to transition, and the closer I'm getting to starting hormones and everything, the more it's bugging me. And got a phone call. Anyways, yeah, the more I'm starting to transition and the more I'm getting involved in it, the more it's starting to bug me. And it's weird, like, because it didn't used to bug me at all. Like, I just understood that, you know, they don't know about it, so they're not going to just be like, hey, sir, or what can I get you, sir, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Now it bugs me, and that's been one thing that's been interesting. Also, trying to gain a lot of muscle mass. It's hard to gain a lot of muscle mass whenever you have a female body and you're born in a female body, because it doesn't act like a male's body. So you can't buff out like a guy does, and that's one problem that I'm having. Sorry, my parents are gonna be home soon, so I keep thinking I hear them, but they're not home. Anyways, so yeah, even that's really awkward. Going to a gynecologist. And that's one thing that biological females need to do, including female to males. And that's one thing that's very, very awkward for female to males to do. And I've gone once, and honestly, I have not been back since, just because it's really awkward, you know? They treat you like a female, and they do female tests on you, and it's just really awkward. And, like, you know, you're supposed to get a mammogram and everything, and a lot of female to males don't want to do that, and I don't either, because I don't want them in the first place. So one thing that I've joked around about is, you know, I probably shouldn't joke around about it, but honestly, I wouldn't be very upset if it did happen. Is if I got breast cancer and then, you know, they would just be taken off. It's not like I would know because I wasn't taking any mammograms, and if I got breast cancer, then they would be taken off and I would be happier. But, yeah, a lot of people don't find that very funny, which is understandable, but, you know, coming from my point of view, you're born with a body part, or two body parts in my case, that I don't like, and that you don't feel like match your gender. So it's very awkward growing up. It's very awkward going through life. You pretty much always constantly feel like there's something there that shouldn't be, and or something that should be there that isn't. And it's just really weird. It's like, for those of you that are watching that that aren't transgender and don't really understand completely what I'm talking about, I'm going to put it into a perspective so that hopefully you can. It's like if you were to be born with the mind and everything that you have now, and the identity that you feel like you are now. So if you are a natural born female and you feel like you're a natural born female, or if you're a natural born male and you feel like you're a natural born male, it's like you feeling like that, but then your body not matching that. It's like if you were to be born with your mentality and the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, and the way you want to dress, doesn't match up with your physical body. And that's pretty much how it is. It's like waking up and feeling like you're a certain gender and knowing you're a certain gender, but then looking down at your body and realizing that you physically are not that gender. And as depressing as that sounds, that's exactly how it is to be trans and have gender identity disorder. It's not fun. It's not something that people would just, pretend like they are, because you can't pretend that you're trans. Like I said in the first one, you can't pretend like you're trans, because if you are pretending you're trans, you don't feel like a trans person actually does. You don't have the feeling of waking up every day in a body that you don't feel comfortable in a body that doesn't match your gender, in a society that doesn't accept you for the gender that you really feel like you are, in a household maybe that doesn't accept you for who you are either, in a family that just doesn't like you anymore because you are going to change genders, or, it's not something that you can really actually fake. I mean, there might be some people that may not understand that they're not trans and may think that they are for a little bit, but I guarantee that after a while, after looking into it, they will figure out that they are not actually transgender. So it's definitely not something that you can really fake very easily. But yeah, that's a little bit more into what it's like to be transgender, and I'm sure I will make a few more videos on this because it is a long discussion topic, and it is something that can't be covered in a small amount of time. So there's a lot of stuff about what it's really like to be a transgendered male, and this definitely has not covered all of it. So I will leave it to another video, and probably more videos to come, and I hope you guys are doing well and enjoyed. Bye.